Hello, I'm Jim Cornwall, and this is the WalkingPost.com podcast. WalkingPost.com is the news website dedicated to walking, with all the latest on gear, books, events, health, trails, fitness, festivals and more. This podcast is number 38, and it's going out on December the 12th. Not enough shopping days left for anything that takes a couple of weeks to send. Here in this part of Scotland, it has been a wet and wild week, again. And I think the warranty on our new camera will have run out before we even get to use it. Because it's been miserable, that combined with having to park even further away from the stores is not a good combination. I even also lost my baseball cap in the wind. I've had them blown off before, but always retrieved them. The only time I did ever lose anything, it was quite comical. I was doing a hike in Switzerland, and it started to rain, and it was very windy. And I took out my plastic cagoule, if that's even a word anymore. Anyway, my plastic jacket with a hood, took it out of my backpack, turned around to put it on, and the wind caught it. It looked like a balloon, and then it was ripped out of my hands, and it took off. I did run after it, thinking it's got to stop eventually, and it did, halfway up a pine tree. I stood waiting for the wind to drop and threw a few sticks at it, but it was still there when I gave up. So when the wind died down, either someone got a free jacket or they looked up at a tree and thought, how the heck did that jacket get up there? Fortunately, it was cheap. So let's take a very brief look at December the 12th. It's Gingerbread House Day. I tried to make one of those with my son once, and it looked like one of those ancient ruined churches. It's the birthday of Edvard Munch and Frank Sinatra. Last week we had a conversation with the author Linda Åkesson McGurk, and this week we're getting in the mood for the big walking festival that happens once every 5 years, EURORANDO, which takes place next September. Before we do get going, if you do have news, guest ideas, or subjects to cover, or comments, or if you want to advertise, please do get in touch via walkingpost.com, or you can just email me, jim@walkingpost.com. Okay, let's go through some of the headlines of the news articles you may have missed that we had on walkingpost.com this past week. A replacement bridge in Radcliffe has been put in place to improve walking access. Garmin has introduced a new satellite communicator with voice, text and photo sharing. And Max Adventure published its walking destinations trend report. The Paso del Norte Trail in El Paso, Texas, has received $31 million. Agoda unveiled its 2026 Travel Outlook report, and land in Ontario has been purchased by the Bruce Trail. Ocean Bottle has launched in the US, and you can read all of these and more at walkingpost.com. Right, let's get to this week's conversation. EURORANDO is a huge hiking festival, and it's held every 5 years, and it's coming up next year. For the first time, it is being held in 2 countries at the same time, Germany and the Czech Republic. And to tell us about the event is one of the organising committee on the Czech side, and that is Jan Kerner. I wonder if first you could give us some background and explain what EURORANDO is.
Well, EURORANDO is a tourist festival held under the name of European Rambling Association, and it's been held every 5 years. I like to say that it's like Olympic Games of pedestrian walkers. The first year was in 2001 in France, where all the participants met in Strasbourg. And then they started with this every 5 years. So 2006 is when it was in Czech Republic, in southern Bohemia. Then 2011 in Spain, in Andalusia. 2016 in Sweden, in Skene. And then 2021 in Romania. And so it has been 5 times. And 6th time will be next year. It is for the first time not in one country, but in two countries at the same time. And the reason for it is that our region, Ore Mountains, is simply stretching over two countries, or belongs to two countries, I can say. Together with our friends, we decided to apply for organization of this event, and we were successful. And well, that's the beginning of the long story that will end next September. So we are working hard to prepare everything as well as possible so that the people come and people are happy when they are here. That's our target.
What was some of the highlights of some of the previous ones? I would imagine 2021, was that affected by COVID at all?
Yeah, there was a problem. In fact, they postponed it for 1 year, and next year still there was not so many participants. So yeah, COVID was a bit problem then. But we spoke to organizers, and they say that although there were not as many participants as they expected, for them it was quite good, and for their mountains, because they developed structure of mountain guides that lasts until now and helps them promote the region and helps them bring people and take care of them. So they are not so pessimistic about the fact that they didn't attract so many participants as they wanted, but they still feel it had some positive impact on them. The highlights, maybe, I don't know the history so much of these previous years. I know that every year they try to have some topic, and what I find very interesting was in Spain, in Andalusia, was the topic water. So everybody brought water from his own region, and they made a European mixture of it in the end of EURORANDO. We got a bit inspired by this, that we asked everybody to bring the stone from his region, because Ore Mountains is the region that has big mining traditions, and mining in fact means that you are digging for stones, and then expert geologists find 2-3% of tin, cuprum, cobalt, or whatever in the stone that you normally probably wouldn't find out that it is there. So digging for stones is what defines our mountains, and we decided to build a big memorial to EURORANDO consisting of many stones that each of participants will bring from his home, and we will provide the big like empty net statue and create so the stone heart of Europe on the border between Czech Republic and Germany, so very close to border. We will create this stone heart. Everybody will create it. Each participant will take part in creating it. So this is a bit inspired by this water idea from Spain.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned the fact that it's kind of like the Olympics or the World Cup. It's every 5 years. Why is it only every 5 years? It seems like it would be a fantastic thing to do more frequently.
I think that's because it's so big. That's the idea is to attract at least 5,000 participants, and these are the people who have to take their holidays, come for a week, and I don't think they would be willing to do it every year. They have to present it to their families and explain to them that this week is EURORANDO. I believe that when it's once in 5 years, that makes it really unique, and perhaps easier for people to organize it, to take part in it. So that's maybe the idea that was behind doing it only once in 5 years.
Right. There's lots of walking festivals everywhere. I mean, there are dozens of them in the UK alone, and Netherlands, Germany, everywhere seems to have a walking festival. What's different about EURORANDO? Is it simply the scale of it?
Well, I think the scale is quite important. The scale is really big, and it's kind of shopping window for European association that tries to connect all the walkers, pedestrian, hikers from Europe. So they found that it is that there has to be something that will be like on the top of everything. And of course, our task as organizers is to make it unique for the participants. The scale is important. What we find unique for exactly our EURORANDO that we are organizing is that the cross-border character of it. So because it's on the border of two countries, we hope to present our region together for two countries. As we say, two countries, one paradise. It's our motto. That makes it also a bit unique, that in fact you will find out, hopefully, that the borders have almost vanished here, so that we can walk freely from one country to another. So this might be also, I think, attractive for participants from the other countries.
How many people would EURORANDO usually get, and where do they come from? Is it just within Europe, or do you get people from everywhere?
There has been done a statistic, I think the most precise statistic did they in 2016 by Sweden, and most of the participants are coming from Europe. I think not exclusively from Europe, there were also some people from outside Europe, but mostly it is oriented to Europe. When I take our EURORANDO year next year, I think there will be a lot of people from Germany, because it is also connected to Deutscher Wandertag, the German meeting of tourists that will take place in the same region in the end of the week when we have EURORANDO, and it will bring even more people. So probably there will be a lot of guests from Germany, but we hope the others from Spain, UK as well, France, and other countries will join as well.
And maybe could you tell me a little bit more? You said it's a mining region. Could you tell me a little bit more about maybe the scenery and what the walks are like there?
Yeah. Ora Mountains is the mountain range that is not as high as Alps. The highest peaks are something more than 1,000 meters above sea level. There are a lot of walking possibilities. There are, I would say, less rocks and more like hills. It is difficult to say why we think it is so nice. We believe it is really one of the nicest places on earth, but it's difficult to explain. Maybe one little detail might give you an insight. 30, maybe 40 years ago, it was we had big problems with pollution of the air, and most of the woods died out. So it was like gray land. But we survived in renovating the woods, and now I think when I look from perspective of Czech Republic, we have the nicest woods from all the mountains, because they are almost new, because they just started from the beginning in 70s, 80s. So we have really nice woods there. And as I said, nice walking paths and nice neighborhood. Yeah.
Could you tell me something about some of the events that are planned for during EURORANDO 26?
Yeah, the basic event are the walks, the pedestrian walks. We prepared 30 routes that we will offer to people to register to and go there with the guides. But we don't think most of the people will want to walk from Monday to Friday every day a different path. They will be interested in some other programs, and that's why we organize it together with 6 towns on the border, 3 on the Czech side, 3 on the German side. And these towns offer the program for participants, concerts, exhibitions, various attractions to give to people program either in the evening, but also during the day when you will not want to walk every day. And so this is program directly in the places where people will stay. But we have also prepared, let's say, 3 other extras. One are 5 bus tours. So every day there will be 5 bus tours to more distant places in Ora Mountains. This is one thing. Second thing is canoeing on River Ohře. On Czech side, just under the mountains, there is a river, and who will want can try how to canoe on river. For some people, it might be interesting. Then a third additional program or extra program is climbing on Klettersteige via Ferrata. That means like rock climbing with the guide. You don't need to be skilled climber to undertake it, but you will like it because you are secure and still at the same time you are quite high above the land. So rock climbing, canoeing on river, and bus tours are three additional things that we organize, just apart from the things that are organized by cities on there. So.
Is it an easy region to get to? I know we were talking about the location, but I think probably a lot of people might not know exactly where it is. Like, where would you fly into? Or
yeah, you can choose if you fly to Prague or Dresden. These are the two closest locations. If you fly to Munich, you can also reach it from Munich by car, but it's a bit more far. So Prague and Dresden are the closest airports. Of course, if you are from France, let's say, you can even arrange your bus and come by bus. And of course, from Germany, it is not so far. Well, I would say that on a triangle between Prague, Dresden, and Munich, you can find it.
Are there any challenges with having it in two countries? I know you said that the borders don't really exist anymore, but any challenges associated with this?
Yes, there are challenges in preparing it, in organizing it, in communication, although most of the people here speak some other language, not all of them. So the communication is a challenge. The different laws on each side of border can be a challenge. The rules that apply in Germany are not the same as in Czech Republic. We must admit we are different in our feelings. Our German friends like to prepare everything in a very detailed way, while on the Czech side we are better in improvising. So we solve the problem as it comes. So it is for both sides not so simple to do things together, to prepare things together. But if it's all based on friendship, it is possible to be done.
Right, absolutely. Are there lots of groups and municipalities, cities, towns getting involved in delivering the event?
Well, we have 6 official partners in the project, 3 on Czech and 3 on German side. Boží Dar, Loučná, Jáchymov on the Czech side, and Johann Georgenstadt, Oberwiesenthal, Breitenbrunn on the German side. There are also municipalities that are interested to offer some additional program, to invite the guests to pay the visit to them. So we will give some tips to participants that they can, if they come by car, or they can take a bus or have a trip to Karlovy Vary, Teplice, Kadaň. There are nice cities on the Czech side, on the German side as well, Schneeberg, Annaberg. They are not direct partners, but they are beautiful towns that are really worth visiting. So also the towns that are not directly participating on organization are interested, and they want us to tell people that they like them to pay the visit there.
Is it something, you mentioned the number of people that are going to be descending upon this area for a week with the German event as well? Is there going to be enough accommodation, and is transportation good in that region?
Well, that's the biggest question, of course. The transport, we want to provide transportation to all the routes, to starts, to routes. That's what we provide. Then, of course, some people will come by car, so they will arrange their own transportation. But the challenge for us is always the parking places. So it will be the most difficult part of all it, to prepare some possibilities to really park the car. Well, we have a system of registration of participants, so we will know sometime before how many of them are really coming, and we can still somehow flexibly prepare things that will be necessary to do. but it will be challenge. Yeah, we know it, and it will not be easy. Yeah.
How is the event itself financed? Is that through municipalities or?
The basic source of financing for this is Interreg grant for support from cross-border cooperation. That's in fact the thing that enabled us to do it, because of all the costs with the marketing and logistics, and so this cross-border cooperation grant is basic. And part of the costs will be covered also by municipalities that take part in it. So financially, we are not in a very difficult situation. When you take participant, he will have to pay accommodation himself. We don't provide accommodation and food. That's everybody's task. They only pay €10 registration fee, symbolic registration fee, to cover some minor costs with welcome package. But for participants, it might be like relatively cheap. They have to take care of themselves in sense of accommodating and food, but the program is provided for them almost for free.
Maybe some of the logistics. What are the dates for the events, and how do people book?
The idea of event is that it is done outside of main season. So it's not in summer, not in winter. It's in autumn from 20th to 27th of September. And it is exactly the date when the weather is still sometimes even summer, like summerish, but the summer season is over, and so it is for local organizers also good that it fills the gap between summer and winter season. As I said, it lasts the whole week, and the week begins on 20th September of 26. So maybe this is that you should put into your head 20th September 26 and just put there the whole week and come to us.
Right. Do you have to be a member of an association to participate?
No. Anybody can come.
And are there any other logistical considerations? I mean, do you have an age limit or?
No, we don't have age limit. From previous years, we know that most of the participants are, let's say, 50 plus. So this is the age when you discover that walking is the best activity that you can do. So there are not many children participating because they have to be at school at the time. So from previous years that we know that really 50 plus is the group that we are targeting.
That time of year, I know you can't really say because it's so changeable, but what kind of temperatures would people be looking at?
I believe between 5 and 20 degrees, we can say, depending on how it will look like. It will not be freezing yet. It will not be snowing yet, even though we are in the mountains. It might be cold, might be sometimes foggy, might be windy, but I think generally there is a quite good prediction for walking in September. So I believe this is a good time of year for walking.
When would the next one be? 2031? Is that one already in preparation, or is that years away from being a consideration?
It is not being discussed yet. So we were on annual conference of European this ERA, this association, and so far there was no discussion about next year. So 2031 is too far for anybody. Maybe they are just waiting how we will do, and then if we do really well, then there will be more interested regions that will like to go in our paths.
All right. Is it like an application process, like when you get the World Cup, everybody applies and?
Yes, it is like application process for World Cup or Olympics. With let's say the exception, there are not so many regions that would like to do it. So the competition is not so tough. I would mention the website. This is quite important because we try to put all the information there. It is EURORANDO2026.eu. So it is universal with ending EU, and it's EURORANDO2026.eu. So I hope you can find all the information there in English, Czech, German and French languages.
So yet another conversation where I just want to go and do the walks. The Erzgebirge region of Germany, and also going into the Czech Republic, does look incredibly beautiful, and it's one of the very few parts of Germany I've not been to. Czechia is also on my list of places I've not been to but want to. I suspect that tickets will go quite quickly. Anyway, it's certainly going to be a great event and I'd love to be there. So that will just about do it for this week. If you have news, suggestions for podcast guests, please do get in touch through jim@walkingpost.com. I'm always looking for guests, whether it's a new trail, a festival, new equipment, a new book, or somebody who's just done a really interesting walk somewhere. Rain is forecast for this weekend again, and we're fast approaching the shortest day of the year. Well, in terms of daylight, I assume it's 24 hours long, just like all the rest. So I hope you enjoyed this week's walkingpost.com podcast. I hope you have a great week, hopefully with a walk somewhere, even if it is from the car to the store, which at this time of year can be quite the hike. Or like EURORANDO, maybe you're walking from one country to another. Anyway, until next time, happy trails! Walking Post from walkingpost.com is an Air Coastal Media Limited production.